place. But anywho, all right. Okay, so Miller, so so you didn't really get into the Bible, none of that stuff. So, so the seeking that wasn't really going on. So, how did it happen that you came across the Father?
Okay, so I was laid off of work. The government stopped these programs that the 211 information hotline. They had programs where the government was funding them, so they didn't fund them no more, and I got let go amongst a lot of other people. And it was an at home job, so I was trying to find something just like that, but I couldn't. um like I guess a lot of people was looking, you know what I'm saying, the same kind of jobs. Like it's easier at home, especially when you got children, to find an at home job, you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
you know, you'll be here when they get out of school or before they go to, you know what I'm saying, you'll be here. So
yeah,
that's what I needed. And I couldn't find none, so I ended up going back on social media, even though I didn't want to. I barely was on Facebook anymore. Like I was tired of that. And I hadn't been on TikTok. I probably was on there, but not really. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand it. I couldn't get hip to it. I don't know. Is it because I'm getting older? You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I put it down. But once I got laid off, I had time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out how everybody doing they videos and stuff. And I end up finding these people. They are the ones that think they are like gods and goddesses, and they be talking about Anunnakis and aliens and all type of crazy stuff.
yeah.
So I was mostly looking for manifestation, and I ran across them. That's how I ran across them first. And you know, I wouldn't go on the live, but I would be there, you know, in the comments, and they ended up, you know, paying attention to me, and they were sharing information. So the little information I got from them, I made sure I saved it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, what kind of books y'all reading? They was talking about um the chakras and stuff like that. So I started to venture off into that. But it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't right. It wasn't right because one day, I want to say it was April 15th of last year, I I was scrolling just like I was doing with them, just scrolling and scrolling, and I seen this black man on this brown leather couch. It was his shirt open. I said, who is this? And what he talking about? But I like, I barely stopped for certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta really catch me. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so he caught me, and I don't know what exactly it was he said, but I remember the live because I think Saint Daddy was there because he would come in and out for Christ. Like if he had to you know, step away, and then, you know, he had Saint Danny would come in. That's how I ended up seeing Saint Danny too. And Kaimani was always sitting there right beside Christ. So I remember her. So I remember them three, you know, my first time, you know, seeing it. I'm like, what he said, something about a petition. I'm like, oh, a black man with a petition? I said, what is that? What are you talking about? So I just listened, you know, I kept listening. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I messaged him. I'm like, how can I get to the petition? And when I got to it, I couldn't. When I put his name in, it wasn't coming in right because I wasn't putting the spaces for his name. So when he told me, like he messaged me and told me how to do it, I was like, okay, I did it. Thank you. I was like, I don't have any money because, you know, at the end of it, change.org, they ask you for money, but it's not him. It's not Christ asking for money. That's their website. So he
Yeah.
was like, no, you ain't gotta. He just told me just scroll past it. You ain't gotta give them no money. I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, I shared it. I'm gonna try to get my people to share it. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, and I ended up going back. I had left his lab and ended up going back to the other people because I seen somebody on Christ's live in the comments from the people that I was normally talking to. like the gods and
Oh,
goddesses people. So I was like, oh, they know about him. So when I went to their lab, I was asking them in the comments, I said, so y'all know who YahJew is? Like, who is that? Y'all know he's saying he Christ? And they was like, he ain't Christ. He lying, this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, so they know him. And I was like, okay. But the next day, the day after that, and every day forward, I didn't go back to them. I went back to YahJew. You know what I'm saying? He got my ear.
that's right.
I was listening to him. You know what I'm saying? Like he took me from where I wasn't supposed to be to where I am
Yep.
today. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he it's like he guided me. You know, so
Yep.
he guided me on the right path in the right direction
Girl, you
from
literally heard that
that
voice.
one video. I mean that one
Right.
laugh, and I ain't looked back.
That's right. That's what's up. That voice, right? That's something else. Talking to the, it's so true. Like
Yeah, and his voice,
talking to
it
the voice.
has like it's almost like a, I want to say an echo, but it's like it makes you listen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
for
It
the
really
ones
does.
that can't hear, it makes you listen.
It really does. I know the people like want to resist and stuff. I'm like, how you haven't even, you can, like you can expect some hesitancy. You know what I mean? Like it's like we've been lied to, so many about so many things, and then with anybody, people always try to say things or this or that. So we understandable. I mean, somebody would have some hesitancy, but if the curiosity that you can still, you know, how they used to say curiosity killed the cat. I think they should say
Mm.
all those sayings to stop us from pursuing stuff, like these little sayings, like to make us like not ask questions or try to figure things out. So I always have
Yeah,
these little
oh
sayings.
yeah. They're out there. They're out there, but they just don't want you to know. And those people, they may know, and they don't want you to know. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Yeah. I just want people to just give it a shot. Like, and then you don't have to be rude. They said the meek shall inherit the earth. Like, you can still like not a little receptive, like standoffish of it, and still have be like humble, right? But these people
Right.
just be straight out nasty. I'll be like, in my head, I'll be like, well, it definitely ain't you. So I don't.
Right. You supposed to come as a child. That means your mouth supposed to be closed and your ears supposed to be open.
Mm-hmm. So that's right there. If you have a nasty, that's why I was like, when people be acting the way they do when it comes to like YahJew and the just how they come out of there, it's like they get possessed or something. I'm thinking in my head, and you supposed to be, or when they try to say they're Christ, like you up here calling him all kind of names. You think that's how Christ represent? Like is that the even
Right.
the
Christ
when you
like.
have in your head that you was indoctrinated with, did it come off like that? No, not at all.
Right.
So yeah, it's crazy to me. It's crazy, but.
And they
Mm-hmm.
forget, like, if you can't touch the information he have, you're supposed to be sitting back listening, learning. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You can't pretend you have it. You either have it or you don't.
They be
And
trying to
he got
pretend
it.
too. They some good pretenders. They won't let it go. Telling you, human beings just feel like they just have to like we just know like knowledge is just so accessible and we just know everything. I think it's insulting actually for people to think that they would be so capable and on that level to just know God. Like you ever talking about what he thinking, what God wants, and you just made him into who you want him to be. You think you would just that would just be so easy for you just to go run and be able to communicate and know and study him or study the spirit. It doesn't make
Mm.
any sense. And now you're here telling people what to think and what God's thinking. And I was like, but that's not. I mean, I never understood that. Like, well, who told you? I was wondering like who told the pastor to do this. And then when I found out they had to go to
Right.
school for it, I was like, what the hell are they teaching you in school to speak the word of God? So
Right.
but that was sketchy. But they teaching your ass up in
Right.
there how to lie to the people.
How to lie,
Shit.
exactly. How to swindle money and lie to the people.
Uh, Dang, telling the black
Big old
pastor
con
don't be your people either. Shoot. Because
Big
if they
old
ever try to help
karma.
their people, they wasn't gonna get no money.